Sims, and we are back with more Taisho Alice, and this is like the longest ending ever. Not complaining, it's fucking great. But we were just with Cinderella talking to our dad, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna marry her," and leaves. Like, the fuck is that? So I have a feeling it's just a he doesn't feel good enough type of a thing, because he was totally just proclaiming his love, and he had that like 5 hour long speech the night before or whatever. So, like, just saying there's something going on. But anyway, he was leaving and we're chasing him down. Wait! Please, wait! Please! I dashed down the stairs, chasing after Cinderella. No matter how loud I shouted after him, he refused to look back. Why? I thought you said you loved me! My voice shook with bitter frustration as I screamed at him. This can't be a bad ending. We've gone through and done all the right things. At last, he came to a stop. I do love you, which is exactly why I need to let you go. The fuck you do? And this magic spell was never meant to last, princess. You and I both knew this going in. We knew this wasn't going to last forever. No, and not just us. Everyone knew. Not me. I fully came into this expecting we were going to last forever. Like, that's how it works. Your dad, my dad. And that's why they never stepped in to interfere. But the wizard's spell will fade, and once it does, I'll have to pay the price. No, I'll pay it. At this, Cinderella fixed me with a pained smile, or again, that could be it too. I need to pay my dues, and then I'll come back for you, but... I appreciate the offer, but that wouldn't be right. You know I'm a total loser. Now imagine how pathetic I'll be if I mooch off of you and your family. I'll only get worse. I'll resent myself for being powerless, and then I'll start wishing I was dead, and it'll snowball from there. But now, with your help, I finally found the courage I need to face reality. And that said, I don't know how long it'll last. It feels like I'm walking on thin ice. One wrong move and I'll be in over my head. So what? We can just work through it together. Is our happy ending gonna be not getting our boyfriends? The fuck kind of game is this? It's fucking great, but it'll make me sad, but... As long as we're together, we'll never reach the surface again. As long as you're with me, I'll just drag you down. I don't care. Well, you should. Because I do. Because I do. It should be more like I do, but, well. Remember when I told you I was thinking about what it would be like to marry you? All that was just a fantasy I had. A silly dream. I'll never be able to buy you fancy clothes. I can buy my own. I won't have money to shower you in gifts or your favorite treats. Again, I can buy my own. And I won't have the money to spoil our kids either. Money ruined my life, although we still need money to live. I know that more than anyone in the world. So I'm begging you, please don't enable me anymore. And don't let me stay a loser forever. And don't make me hate myself, okay? Cinderella, can't I do anything to help shoulder your pain? It's not your burden to bear. So what's your plan now? Are you just going to go it alone? Without Snow White or Gretel? Without me? Yeah, I'll be fine. I'm a handy guy, you know. I can do anything I put my mind to. Then why? Spacey, I know you want me to be happy, but I want you to be happy too, so you're just going to leave me and break my heart. I mean, sure, I get it. Well, good, then someone else will come along and I'll be happy with them, but, you know, your happiness is my happiness. That's not fair. How am I supposed to argue with that? It's for the best. I'll never make you happy. I know that. And that's why I wanted to bring you back before the clock struck 12. What about my love for you? You're just going to abandon that too? You're a good woman. There'll be plenty more fish in the sea. I don't care about the other fish. I only want you. My time has run out and I have to go home. Farewell, princess. Thank you for making my dream come true. God, my eye hurts so bad. And with that, he turned back to the door. Wait, Cinderella! I started after him. But I lost my balance and toppled to the ground. My shoe! The heel of my shoe had broken clean off. Of course it was her shoe. I tried to stand, but a sharp pain shot through my leg. Meanwhile, Cinderella walked out the door, leaving me behind. Cinderella, wait! Please! I still want to be with you. I don't want to let go. Not now. Not ever. Why are you so dead set on letting me go? And so my beloved disappeared from my life completely. This really feels like a bad end, but we did everything right. It's past the time we agreed on, but he hasn't come yet. You have to believe me. The Match Girl financing office was right here. I think you might be mistaken, lady. We ain't never heard of the place. Never run along home. Hey! In the days after Cinderella left me, I spent my time inquiring about him at various loan agencies, only to be shown the door. Strangely enough, the company that handled Cinderella's debt, Match Girl Financing, seemed to have vanished completely. I tried asking around to see if they'd moved to a new location, but no one seemed to have even heard of them. I was really hoping Mr. Sook could tell me where to find Cinderella. Kaguya, have you found him? As soon as Kaguya returned home, I was eager to hear how his investigation went. But once again, he only shook his head. The banks foreclosed on both the cafe and his parents' home. Both locked up tight as well, same as you saw earlier. Right. That night, after Cinderella left me, I went back to the cafe to find a notice had been taped to the door, announcing the cafe's closure. Nobody knows where he is, not even Snow White or Gretel. So where could he have gone? I tried asking everyone I could think of who knew him, but none of them had any leads. It was almost as though someone had cast a vanishing spell on him. Sorry, Puppet. I do wish I could be of more help. No, that's all right. I really appreciate you doing all this legwork for me. No problem at all. Seeing as it's all I can really offer you. I mean, you could marry me instead, backup plan. My backup plan is Kaguya. Okay? Sorry. Besides, you're my princess, sweetheart. I'll dash around the whole country if it'll put a smile on your face. Kaguya, thank you. He's so fucking precious. Still, this is quite the pickle, isn't it? Rumor says Cinderella's dad's gone abroad. I reckon the lad may have gone with him. Cinderella would never do that. He'd never run away. Right you are. After all, he turned down your father's offer and chose a life of hardship instead. And that's no coward. Here's the thing, though. If he wanted to, pay off his own debt and whatever and make himself worth us, you know what I mean? How do you pay off a loan when the loan sharks magically disappeared too? It's interesting. People say he's a layabout with a heart of ash, but deep down, I reckon that heart's made of gold. Yeah. There's no way he left the country. I'll track him down sooner or later. Once again, I found myself standing outside the cafe. I knew he wouldn't be here, and yet I couldn't stop myself. Deep down, my heart was convinced there was a tiny chance he would come back. Pardon the intrusion. Fortunately for me, I'd made a spare key in secret, and tonight I was going to use it. Unsurprisingly, the interior was eerily silent and devoid of human life, except for Alice, who everyone forgets is fucking upstairs. I don't know where he went. It's hard to believe that the place was once bustling with customers. It was fun while it lasted, at least. Glancing around, I headed further in. All over the building, everything in the kitchen sink was marked with a sticker that read, "Seized." My chest ached. It felt like further proof that my happiness here was all an illusion. But though the ball and carriage and fancy gown were all a dream, surely the time I spent with Cinderella was still real. As soon as I set foot into his room, I caught sight of something. To me, it was something worth its weight in gold. Is this a glass slipper? There was no mistaking it. Cinderella had sculpted a glass shoe. Cinderella, are you here? Please answer me. Cinderella. But no response came. Cinderella. I took off my own shoe and slipped it on to find that it was a perfect fit. You had to know. I mean, okay, aside from staring in the window, the glass shoes were in there, and I was like, okay, that's a nice and then it was like, then he like sculpting glass, and I was like, did he sculpt the shoes that were in the window? Or, okay, he's gonna make a, okay, alright, had to know that was coming. For some reason, however, the slipper was missing its mate. It's a lure, you have to go find the man who... Instead of, I need to find the girl who lost this shoe, I need to find the man who made this shoe. When on earth did he find the time to make this? But just then... I don't know who's saying that because it's not Cinderella. Is it Alice? Anyway, we'll just read it. Well, well, looks like you're in a bit of trouble, eh, lady? It's you! I whirl around to find Mr. Suit standing there. Okay, so it was Mr. Suit. What voice did I give him? I don't even remember. Whatever. I've got you now. I've heard you've been searching all over town for me. It's not really me you're looking for, is it? I don't know what voice he had. Crap. This is going to be the problem when the second part comes out. I'm going to forget all the voices. Really am. Where's Cinderella? And if I said I didn't know? His tone was arrogant as ever. On the upside, however, it helped me keep my emotions in check. You won't, though. I looked him directly in the eye as I spoke. What makes you say that? Because there's no way you don't know the answer. And if you didn't feel like telling me, you wouldn't have come to find me in the first place. Yeah, there's no way he turned up just to say hi. You're as unflappable as ever, it seems. Mr. Suit shrugged his shoulders. Please tell me where he is. If you won't give me the information for free, then just name your price. Any price? Yes, any price. What if I said I want your body? If it'll help me find Cinderella, then you can have it. Oh, so you'll do whatever it takes then. He oogled me up and down. I thought he was going to say the slipper. I swallowed. What was he going to ask of me? I think he already did. I mean, that was a test, but I'd be concerned. You really are a little heroine, aren't you? No, I'm on a little heroine. Suddenly, he shifted to a more candid tone, ill-befitting of the situation at hand. What? Little heroine? Why does that sound so familiar? Is the shady guy actually the wizard? I was really wondering when he showed up. I was like, there was something in my mind that was like, is the shady guy the wizard? Like, secretly, because how would he know we were here? And the fact that he just disappeared... You know what I'm saying? Match girl financing. Just, they magically disappeared and then he's here. I was like, the wizard had something to do with it. But when he showed up here again, I was like, and now, why does that sound familiar? Because that's what the wizard called us, and he has something to do with him if it's not him. Haven't you figured it out, little heroine? Then it hit me. His voice. His arrogant manner of speech. Except for it wasn't the same voice anyway. Could it be? I pointed at him, mouth agape. It seems you've seen right through me. The evil loan shark was but a mask, and beneath it, the heroic wizard. In a blink, the man's black suit transformed into a wizard's garb, which was also black, so the contrast wasn't really that striking. Hey there. Been a while since I used this form. Have you been? Well, so much for all that dramatic tension. Gah, getting distracted. I'm fine. Would you mind if I straightened a few things out with you? Go right ahead. Are you the same wizard I met before? Sure am. Oh, I'm flattered that you remembered me. Put her there. And so our reunion was commemorated? With a handshake? I take it we've met more than twice. In a sense, yes. And no. Technically, yes, because I have gotten a bad ending. But it would be no if we hadn't gotten bad endings yet. But you're the guy in charge of Match Girl financing. That's what she's talking about. Because he's like, technically, yes and no. Like, no, but also yes, but maybe. Indeed. You're the one who loaned Cinderella the money. And the same guy who told me about it. Yes, I cast a spell upon him. By which you mean you loaned him money. One could say that. In exchange for that same money plus interest. Correct. And the clock has struck 12. The spell is broken. And now he's paying the price. That was striking 12. The 12 months, technically. Interesting. So there was no magic involved? Just a disguise? Oh, there's magic. Inexplicable, illogical, fateful magic. And when did this happen? Why, before you ever met him, of course. I stared back at him. I couldn't even begin to process this. Okay, whatever. That answers a few of my questions at least. Doesn't it give you like 30 more, though? No wonder you seemed so familiar with Cinderella when we met you. He didn't seem to recognize me, though. Probably because you weren't wearing your disguise, genius. Is this a joke to you? Am I a joke? I glared at him, but he didn't even flinch. The characters are all so fucking good. I get the feeling you've been meddling in a bunch of other things I don't know about. Whatever. Please just tell me where he is. I let out a breath in exasperation. Wait, you aren't going to ask me why I did all that? Would you tell me if I did? Nope. Didn't think so. And thus I won't bother asking. Besides, my top priority is Cinderella, not you. At this point, I don't care who you are, what your objective is, or why you've done what you've done. I just want to know where I can find Cinderella. You really want to know? I'm desperate. Then what you really want is for me to cast a spell on you. Giving me information is casting a spell? It's a very confusing world. To me, at least. I paused for a moment. And that magic comes at a price, right? You're very sharp. Well, I mean, right. I closed my eyes. There in the darkness, I contemplated the best course of action and came to a decision. Will you ask the wizard to cast a spell on you? Well, I mean, no. Then we'll never find Cinderella. Yes, we'll find Cinderella. And obviously, I also have the guide, but this is kind of an obvious one. Mr. Wizard, or whoever you are, I need you to grant my wish. And what's that? Please, let me speak to Cinderella once more. Or one more time. A fair warning, there are limits to my magic. I don't care. I'll do anything to achieve my ends. I'll lie, cheat, or even make miracles happen if I have to. What will you do once you learn where he is? Didn't he abandon you once before? No, he didn't abandon me. And now I'm going to get him back. Oh, really? All the courage it took him to make this decision. And you're going to throw it in the trash? Bit of a jerk move, don't you think? Is it? I'm afraid so. Cruel and selfish to the utmost degree. You'd be going against his wishes. After all, he did it for your sake. Because I made him feel insecure. Yes, he said being around you makes him feel like an even bigger loser. So do you still want me to cast my magic? Yes, I do. I'm going to do everything in my power to oppose his wishes. If that makes me every bit as cruel and selfish as you say I am, then so be it. But the thing is, he told me he loves me. That's why I have to get him back. Although, okay, like, I get this, but at the same time, can we just, like, take a step back for a minute and be like, okay, so you're in a relationship with the guy's like, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, you know what? I can't be the person that you need, blah, blah, blah. And in that breakup, you're like, well, fucking man up and stop being a dumb fuck then. Like, I'm doing this for you. You're better off without me. I'm a loser. Yeah, but maybe try to be better. Right? But some people, if you're not the right person, they're not going to be better for you. They might find someone and then be better for that person. And someone else will make that effort for you. You know what I mean? So this goes on to, like, creepy stalker territory. And I'm almost like, I feel slightly disturbed that we are like, I don't give a crap what he wants. I'm going to make it. He said he loved me. I will have him. It's like, maybe, but I get it.
I get it. We're supposed to be like, that's so beautiful because he's just being insecure and stupid and like whatever. But you're like, but there's that part of you that's like, this kind of sounds irrational and a little fucking crazy. And maybe like he really just doesn't want to step up and change for us. And maybe we should just let him go. Like, oh, this is why I'll never get a fairy tale ending because I'm not going to like, someone's like, you know what? I'm not good enough for you. It's like, fuck you, you twat. And then I'm done. I'm not going to chase him to the ends of the earth. I need to be with them. It's like, you know, it does hurt, and you feel like that for like a little while. You're like, oh, my life is, I just can't do anything anymore. I'm useless and worthless. And, why? I'm never going to feel good again. And then you get over it, and you're like, yeah, you know what, whatever. But like, she's in that sad phase, and she's just stalking the fuck out of him, and it's just, again, I know that's not what she's actually doing here, but like, it's got those undertones, and you're like, I guess I feel good that I can recognize that, because then I won't be like, no, it's just like being a heroine in an Otome game. We're going to go and just find our man, even after he broke up with us. Like, oh, no, girl, no, we ain't. No, we ain't. That's crazy. She a little crazy. And I feel a little disturbed. Like, it'll all end happy, but, like, it's a little disturbing. That's all I'm saying. Anyway.
And what will you do then?
I'm going to make him happy. Whether he likes it or not, I'm going to put him in a cage. Oh, we're Toman now. That's a twist I didn't see coming.
At this, Mr. Wizard snapped his fingers. Good. Good. Now then, what will you give me in exchange? I'll give you...
my body. What did I give him?
What's with all the commotion? Isn't it obvious? The princess is holding a ball at the castle in search of her one true prince. A ball, huh? It sounds fancy.
So now we're the princess at the castle? Cool.
It seems like your brothers will be attending dressed to the nines. Oh, yeah? I'm glad to hear they're doing well for themselves.
So they live together now? Is bromance happening? Okay.
And you've received an invitation, too. Aren't you going? Oh, wait, what? What invitation? It's right here. It says you've been invited by the Arisu family.
Ah, okay, no.
Look at me, covered in cinders. And there's no way I can go. They'll just laugh in my face. What makes you say that? You were once the heir to a great fortune, were you not? Maybe I used to be, but not anymore. Because your father disappeared? Yeah. He vanished and left me with his debt.
But the wizard isn't even collecting on your debt, which is just funny. Anyway.
In the end, I guess he never did give a shit about me. Hard to say. And now that he's gone, you have no way of asking. Yeah, I'll probably never see him again. He thought he loved you, but instead he betrayed you. I don't care that he tricked me or betrayed me or whatever. I've got nothing else left to lose.
Yes, I suppose so. You've lost everything you've ever gained.
Well, not everything. Oh, yeah? See this glass slipper? I made it for her.
What happened to its mate?
I left it behind at the cafe. Is that your way of signaling to her that you want her to find you? If so, I'm not sure she'll figure that out.
I figured it out! Where's the man who made this slipper? Oh, where's the man who has the match to the slipper? Whatever, same difference.
Who knows? Either way, it doesn't matter. Once I pay back all my debt and get to the point where I can support myself, then I'll go and give her the other shoe. It'll probably take years, maybe even decades. I hope she'll wait for me.
You probably should have asked her that. But, how naive. There's no way she'll wait that long. Decades. I know. You know what? You'd be like, she's like, no, I got married and divorced and like, whatever, we didn't see eye to eye and now we're 50 and you're back. Cool. Awesome. It's never too late for true love. Unless you're in love with someone else and married and then your true love comes back and you're like, I mean, kind of, this is like not going to work like that, but you know.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, that's all right. I don't mind if she loves or marries someone else in the meantime.
I thought you loved her.
I do. I'm still crazy about her. And that's why I want so badly for her to be happy. How very devoted you must be. Back when we first met, I never would have seen this coming. I know, right? I guess she must have rubbed off on me over the month we spent living together. And the truth is, I'm terrified. Whenever I go out, my hands are always reaching for stuff I don't need. I managed to break the habit while she was around, because at least then I felt loved. But now that I'm alone again, I feel like I'm gonna fall off the wagon. And no surprise there. Your addiction is a mental illness that must be treated. You may have thought you cured it, but really you just temporarily change targets. And that's why I have to stay away from her. Otherwise I'll just let her enable me and use her as a crutch. And so you decided to leave her of your own free will. Exactly. I left her because I love her. I don't want to love her just because she loves me back, or because she enables me. And that's not how love works. A true love is unconditional. True love doesn't ask for anything in return. But I'm weak, and I needed something to cling to. Something that I could lean on in times of hardship. Something that would remind me of the vow I made to myself. So that's why you crafted the glass slippers? I just can't seem to let go, can I? I'm the one who broke things off, and yet here I am, hoping she won't forget me. Somewhere deep down, I do want something in return. I want her to wait for me. Pretty pathetic, isn't it? I don't blame you. You're not some perfect holy saint. You are, however, naive. Naive like a little baby that loves candy. Or maybe your brain is made of candy, pathetic little loser.
Alice is like such the little lolly boy. He's like such a little adorable outside, and he's like such a feisty bitch on the inside, and I kind of love it.
How could one man be so passive and cynical, and yet so conceited and irresponsible? You're like a smorgasbord of...
Smorgasbord. Wow, I can't say that out loud. It's so hard to say that in a sentence when you're trying to read, like it's a smorgasbord, but it just doesn't roll off the tongue nicely when you're trying to read it. Anyway,
of awful. Ouch, dude. You want her to wait for you, but she won't wait forever. You know that, right? Well, yeah, but... You've got it backwards, Cinderella. She's gonna hunt you down. After all, she is the princess of the looking-glass world, and she fell for you at first sight. Hey there, Cinderella. Long time no see. How have you been? It's you, and the shady fortune teller. I'm not a fortune teller, I'm a wizard. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. What are you doing here? Well, you see, Cinderella, I'm here to help you go to the ball tonight.
it's kind of cute that the wizard is trying to like con your happy ending. Like, get your happy endings, get your happy endings. And then you have a romancy path with him. The last one before Alice. I swear to God, we and Alice we're like two pieces of the same brain. Like, I think Alice is another part of our personality because there's like no way where Arisu and he's Alice, we're both Alice, and it's like, but yet he's in these worlds. But I think he's like the Yukio in these worlds. You know what I mean? Like, because in Amnesia, Yukio is always trying to kill you and shit, and you're like, the fuck? But like, then you end up going down, and his is the true path, and I have a feeling that's what Alice is. But like, maybe when you're in the wizard's path, he's like, no, you have to pick someone else, and you're like, no, but I love you, and he's like, yeah, but wait, no, that's not how this works. Like, because he's here like, oh, I'm gonna help you get Cinderella, and then, ooh, I'm gonna help you get Red Riding Hood, I'm gonna help you get all these guys. Like, it's almost like the narrator, but then all of a sudden you're like, I like you, narrator, and he's like, the fuck? What? Like, you know? No, you have these 4 other guys. You're like, no, you. Wait, how many? No, we have 7. Right? Yeah. He's the well, who am I missing? Oh, yeah, no, Snow White, Gretel. Because Gretel and Kaguya will be probably in the second release, and then it's Snow White and the Wizard, and then Alice is the last one. So I would assume that they would put the last 3 together. You know what I mean? Because otherwise it's weird. Then they'd have to wait for I don't know. Anyway.
What? First,
I'll need to borrow this little glass tub and this little glass pumpkin. Oh, and this little glass mouse. Hey, wait, slow down. With the power of magic, I'll transform these into a horse, a driver, and a golden carriage. And like the wizard is now the fairy godmother. Like, 1, 2, 3. Man, the effects just got snazzy in this last bit. Cinderella, I recognize you. You're a servant. Here he is, the prince who stole the princess's heart. Come now, future prince. Your princess is waiting at the castle. Wait! See, we've got a carriage, and a white horse, and a driver, and an attendant. Now you're ready to go. What? And now we need to do something about your clothes. What the? How? It doesn't matter how. I'm a wizard, remember? Your only option is to accept my magic for what it is. And now climb into the carriage, Cinderella, and go have a good time. Oh, and fair warning, at the stroke of 12, the spell will be broken, and everything will be as it was before. And this is all too sudden. Just go, Cinderella. Haven't you always dreamed of going to a castle ball to meet the princess? No, like, actually, Cinderella. Yeah, you're right. All right, then. Let's be going, Cinderella. Sure thing. Hold it. Don't forget this. It's important to you, right? And the glass slipper. And thank you. I'll be back. And so, wearing his fancy new attire, Cinderella climbed into the golden carriage. Their destination, the princess's castle. What are we doing here? Go on in then. Go in, but this is... Dozens of people filled the room, decked out in all their finery. They all welcomed Cinderella warmly. Welcome, dear brother. Welcome? More like welcome home, Cinderella. What are you two doing here? We work here. She told us she was going to reopen the cafe and offered to hire us back. And now... Oh, it's Snow White. Not like I had anything better to do sitting around at home. Reopen the cafe. Then the princess stepped forward looking utterly resplendent. I bought the place. Spacey. Well, more accurately, my parents did. So now I'll need to work hard to pay back the loan. I shot him a playful wink. Why? Why what? Why am I here? Or why did I buy the cafe? Both. He stared blankly back at me, seemingly unable to process this. Before we get into that, I cleared my throat and extended a hand to him. May I have this dance? I love the fact that we're taking on like the prince role, like, beautiful man, will you dance with me? Like, hell yeah! Girl power, motherfucker. Like, oh, my beautiful little prince. I will make a splendid king out of you. You will be by my side and wave and look pretty on my arm. I dig this. Anyway, after all, I can hardly expect the guests to have a good time if the hostess herself is just standing around. The aforementioned guests were now watching our exchange with amused smiles. Right. He nodded and moved to take my hand, but stopped short. Your shoes. Evidently he'd noticed what was going on with my footwear. One, their mismatch? You see, I was wearing the one glass slipper he had left for me, and my other foot was completely bare. A funny story. I was chasing after some guy when I busted the heel off my favorite shoes. Sarcasm intended. And did you hurt yourself? Just sprained my ankle. And you do that a lot, apparently. Turns out I'm actually pretty clumsy. I'm sorry I wasn't there to help you. I'm not upset about it. After a long pause, Cinderella knelt down before me. Princess, please hold out your foot. Tonight, I've come here to ask you to wear this glass slipper. I made it just for you. As he spoke, he held up a single shoe made of glass. What a coincidence. You see, I'm already wearing one. I lifted my skirt and showed him my feet. Please, let me be the one to place it on you. Very well, I hope the floor's clean, otherwise we got a really dirty foot. He took my bare foot and gently slid it into the other slipper. And now the pair is reunited. The shoes were a perfect fit. I like the double entendre there. The pair is reunited, like a pair of shoes and the pair of I get it. That's pretty. I like it. Cute. In case you missed it, I wanted to share that because it was beautiful. No surprise there, of course. After all, Cinderella had made them specifically for me, which meant I was the only one in the world who could wear them, and he has seen our feet so he would know. That also was in the back of my mind when he was like doing her ankle up, and I was like, now he's sizing up my foot size so he can make me shoot, because he already knew her dress size by like eyeballing her. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and they look great on you.
He gazed up at me passionately, and I felt my cheeks flush.
Princess, will you let me have just one dance?
He got to his feet and extended his hand.
Why, gladly, Sir Prince.
I took his hand, and a classical song began to play. Aww. You're a great dancer. Her dress looks like it'd be so fucking pretty. Look at like the beading in the back right there. Oh, and it's super low cut. Jesus. I love it.
I guess you could say that. I did promise I'd be your escort someday, remember?
Looks like you kept your promise then.
Hey, you're pretty good at this too. I thought you said you'd never gone dancing before.
I haven't, but I've been practicing my steps in secret while I waited for this day to come.
You little twerp, I swear.
If I'm a twerp, then you're a foul-mouthed punk.
Yeah, I guess so.
He grinned.
Obviously, I'm still the same guy. How long have we been apart now?
1 month. In other words, precisely the same duration we spent living together.
Bingo. I'm glad you're doing well for yourself, Spacey.
This insensitive remark earned one stomp of my heel.
Ouch! Why, you little...
If you truly care for me as much as you claim to, then I'll stomp on your foot as much as I have to. Do you realize how much I've agonized over you this past month? My voice trembled and I could scarcely get the words out. I always knew he was dense when it came to women, but I wasn't having it. After all, I'd worried myself sick, fearing for his safety. And now that we were finally reunited, I felt like I might burst into tears of joy.
You agonized over me the whole time.
Obviously. He looked genuinely shocked. He's so stupid. It's adorable, though. You're lucky I'm in love with you, buddy. Even as each song came to an end, we never pulled our hands away. Not once.
Man, it feels like I'm dreaming.
Like you're under a magic spell?
Yeah, something like that.
After you disappeared, I searched everywhere for you. But your parents' house and the cafe were both repossessed, and there was no trace of you anywhere. You're such a jerk. I thought of you as my soulmate, and then you turned around and left me high and dry. But I never gave up hope. I kept searching, seeking you.
And then you found me.
I sure did. I heard through the grapevine that a glass crafter had taken you in as an apprentice. That's so precious! I love it! I'm so happy for you, Cinderella. Now you can turn your hobby into your profession.
It's nothing to celebrate. My master yells at me every day.
Are you having a hard time?
Yeah. It's stifling in there, even in the winter. And I'm always worried I'll burn myself on molten glass. I spend my days covered in ash. Literally.
See, like when he was talking about how he likes glass crafting, I was like thinking of what the wizard said, and I was like, but like the wizard's like, oh, you'll find yourself covered in ash. I'm like, that might not be a bad thing for Cinderella considering what he enjoys doing, and it wasn't. So like it wasn't an ominous, oh, ha ha, it sucks to be you. It's like everything's gonna come crashing down and you're gonna find yourself covered in ash, which is probably actually where you wanna be, because then you'll be happy doing something you enjoy doing instead of just being a rich douchehole. Wasting money. Although I'm not saying I don't want to give being a rich douchehole a try. I would gladly try that for like the rest of my life. You know? You know, the last half of my life, first half of my life is like, okay, I've been a normal person with a job. I want to be a rich asshole for the last half. Just saying. I know there's people like, you're too young to have a midlife crisis. No, I don't want to be 120 fucking years old. Jesus. Like, oh my God. Look, I'm already like, oh God, I'm so fucking old, midlife crisis. I'm a little probably early, but whatever. Anyway.
Besides, with my amateur skill, I can't earn a living wage. It'll take 10 years before I'm good enough, which means I'll have to train hard my whole life.
You seem happy, though.
Yeah, it's a hard life, but at least I get to do what I love.
Except for me, you don't get to do me, and you love me, right? Come on, Jesus. You've made your dream come true.
It's not that dramatic, but, you know, I'd like to make some really eye-catching pieces someday. Blue, red, green, something really colorful.
Ooh, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, knowing you, you'll fall in love with it. I can't promise it'll be anytime soon, though.
Right. No matter the obstacle, I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll make your dream come true someday. I just know it.
Thanks. So yeah, these days I'm up to my eyeballs in class, day in and day out. I couldn't ask for more.
Here's the funniest part. I'm just an amateur, my skill's not that great. You made a pair of fucking shoes! I'm not sure I could make a ball. Especially because that'd be really hard, because round is a really hard shape to get. But I'm just saying. Like, I could be like, it's a lump of glass. I could make a paperweight, maybe. You made a pair of fucking shoes. Don't give me that bullshit that you're just an amateur, because I'm pretty sure that, like, that's a pro-level move. It's at least a moderate level move. Like, that is not an amateur glass blower move.
Right. On to the next question, I guess. So you want to know why I bought the cafe? Yeah, I do. I mean, taking out a loan from your parents. It wasn't a huge loan. I just have to make the cafe a success, and I'll be able to pay it back just fine. Easier said than done, Missy. We barely turned a profit last time around. Then I'll just have to do better than you. Ha! You haven't changed a bit. Is that a bad thing? You never pull any punches either.
What do you think words are for? No one is a mind reader, so someone's word is all you have to go by. That's why we profess our love. And I love you.
I love you too.
I love you more. I'm not like you. I didn't buy the cafe in pursuit of a childhood dream. Of course, I do enjoy working in customer service, and I'm not opposed to making it my life's career. You already know the answer to this, don't you? You know why I invited you here and what I'm trying to say. Oh my God, are you gonna propose? Oh my God, it's gonna be so cute. I did it all to set the stage for your homecoming. I looked directly into his eyes as I spoke.
I can't accept it.
He looked away. Why not?
I told you. I'm a total loser. Always have been, always will be. And if I lean on you and your family's money, I'll be an even bigger loser. There's no way life will work out that easily.
Why not? Humans are born to dream. Without dreams, life isn't worth living. So we work hard to make those dreams come true, even if it takes a miracle. And you can still go about your, like, being an apprentice to a glassblower. And doing that, and I'll run the cafe, and then you come home to me at night. It's so cute! Tell me, Cinderella, why is it you left me this glass slipper?
Well,
you wanted to see me again, didn't you?
Fine, you win. After I paid off my debt and established some financial stability, I was planning to send you the other one.
You wanted me to wait for you?
Yeah, I did. I wanted you to wait as long as it took, and I didn't want you to move on.
Well, look at that. Your dream's already come true. Here I am. I'm wearing the glass slippers you made me, and now we're dancing. But, you see, your dream is my dream too.
Your dream?
My dream is to spend my life with my beloved. And in order to make the dream come true, I searched every last corner of this country for you. It's totally what the prince did for Cinderella. It was the last house, and it was the only blonde girl in the whole town, but like, whatever. Then I found you, and now I'm here to retrieve you. Yeah.
Retrieve me?
That's right, my sweet prince.
But When the clock strikes 12, I'll go back to my ashen rags.
I don't care.
But I lied to you.
Indeed you did. And I lied to you too. So we're even.
But I'm a pathetic, hopeless loser. I'm a pitiful creature who tried to do right by you, only to come crawling back.
And I love that side of you.
It took a lot of guts to leave you, but I did it because I loved you and wanted you to find happiness. Are you really gonna throw all that in the trash?
Love conquers all.
I don't want to take advantage of you.
I don't care if you do. It's a little, you're like, it's kind of romantic, but at the same time, you're like, it's a little scary. Like, she a little scary. I don't care. Take advantage of me, use me, lie to me, abuse me, cheat on me. I don't care. Just marry me, goddammit. It's like, girl, you gotta set some standards. But like, I know it's supposed to be romantic, but it's like tripping on dangerous territory where you're like, oh, some of these statements are problematic.
Being with me might make your life a lot harder. You get that, right?
That's still preferable to losing my soulmate. Cinderella, as long as we're together, we can overcome any hardship. I've been searching the whole kingdom for you, my prince. Please, won't you take my hand?
Spacey.
Just then, in the distance, the clock began to strike 12.
It's midnight.
He stopped dancing.
No, I can't. My time is up, princess. I have to go back to my rags and ash.
He's fighting us so hard. Is it just me, or you're like, oh my god, like, could you will you, or just, yes or no, just figure it out. This chasing you down is I feel like I've chased you all around this reunion, and I can't handle it.
I had a lot of fun tonight, and it was great seeing you again, even though I know I shouldn't have.
His hand pulled away from mine. So you're just going to disappear on me again? Fine. Knock yourself out. I'll just hunt you down again, as many times as I have to. The spell may be broken, but that doesn't mean you have to leave. Like I said earlier, my dream is to be with my beloved. Cinderella, I don't care how ashen your clothes may be. I love you for who you are.
Spacey, can you really still love me? And now that you've seen me for who I truly am?
Of course.
I've never been one of the lucky ones. I'm a dumbass, and without my money, no one would ever give me a second glance.
That's not true.
Maybe not, but I thought it was.
He gave a self-deprecating laugh. Cinderella.
And now I finally see what it is I truly wanted, and what I truly needed. I always wanted people to see the real me, even after the clock strikes 12, and my fancy clothes turn to rags, and my jewels vanish. And no matter how soiled I am, I wanted them to see the real me buried beneath all that. Life isn't fair. Most of the times your dreams will never come true.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Stop slapping me in the face with reality.
So I decided I wouldn't bother dreaming at all. And then I tried to fill that void with possessions. But it was never going to work, because it wasn't what I really wanted. My heart, my money, my life, all the color in my world had faded to an ashen gray. I had no hope. Whenever I thought about the future, I felt nothing but despair. And then you turned up. Spacey, I had so much fun with you. I was a total loser, but you loved me anyway. And deep down, I always wanted a dream. And this realization's come a little too late now that I've lost everything, but still, it's not too late.
Plus, you haven't really lost everything, wouldn't you say?
Right. I may not have any cash, but I still have a dream. And I have a princess who'll search the whole kingdom looking for me. I told myself life couldn't possibly work out this easily. I can try to kick the habit all I want, but it won't undo what I've done. Still, Spacey, will you help me dream again?
Oh, it's about fucking time. It's like, I do not want to have to chase you again. These glass shoes can't be comfortable.
Of course. I'll dream with you for the rest of my life.
Well, until the path is over, but...
Spacey, I love you. Starting now, I'll never let you go. And I won't vanish on you ever again.
I promise. Magically vanishes because the wizard spell is over, and then the wizard's like, I didn't plan that. Sorry.
So, will you be my girlfriend? And someday, my future bride?
Yes. The next instant, we were showered in applause from the guests.
And so they lived happily ever after, I suppose.
A job well done if I do say so myself.
You want to know the price she paid for her miracle? It was the dove, the very first dream created by the soon-to-be famous glass crafter, Cinderella.
Aw, that was something that meant so much to him. It was the first thing he ever made that she loved so much. Oh, it's kind of like a treasured possession, but like...
Once upon a time, in the looking-glass world, there lived a rich little boy. This boy had everything. With a big mansion, fancy clothes, and delicious food, he was the envy of the town. But that happiness did not last forever. Why? Because it was all one big pretense that could shatter at any moment. Although he appeared to live in the lap of luxury, the sad truth was, his happiness was built on a mountain of debt. And on the day it all came crumbling down, his heart faded to gray. Unable to forget his life of decadence, Cinderella, as he was known, continued to squander his money. Day in and day out, he would buy things he didn't need, treat people to meals, and conduct himself with an air of superiority. But Cinderella knew this would not last forever. He could play pretend all he liked, but once his time ran out, he would be reduced to a life of poverty once more. One day, Cinderella encountered a beautiful princess. Concealing her true identity, she paid a visit to his house and ultimately started working at his cafe. Unlike him and his facade, however, she was truly wealthy. He assumed she would quickly abandon him, but instead she seemed to enjoy his presence. Before long, the two fell in love. Unable to bear the secrets they'd each kept hidden from the other, they both confessed the truth. The impoverished girl transformed into a wealthy princess, and the wealthy prince transformed into an impoverished boy grimy with ash. And even after they discovered the truth about each other, their love did not waver. But as Cinderella came to love the princess more and more, he soon realized that he was incapable of providing for her. Money had ruined his life, and yet he knew they would still need money to survive. And thus, in order to spare the princess from a lifetime of certain misery, Cinderella escaped from the princess's castle, leaving behind a single glass slipper. Farewell, my princess. From there, Cinderella sold off every last thing he owned. He had lost his home and all of his fancy clothes, but though he had lost most of the things he cared about, he had yet to lose everything. What was it that still remained? It was his dream. At one point he had abandoned this dream, but after a glass crafter took him in as his apprentice, he was prepared to work hard for the rest of his life to achieve it. So what was his dream, you ask? To become a full-fledged glass crafter, at which time he would go and see the princess again. But then the princess decided to hold a ball at the castle in search of her future groom, and Cinderella was invited. Unable to let go, the princess had searched the whole kingdom looking for him. But though he wanted to go to the ball and see the princess, Cinderella knew he would never be allowed in God damn it, we were doing so good! I was also thinking in my head, like, we're basically just recapping the entire story here, but anyway. But though he wanted to go to the ball and see the princess, Cinderella knew he would never be allowed in wearing his grimy rags. Just as he was ready to accept that life simply wasn't that easy, he heard a voice. I shall make your dreams come true. Out of nowhere appeared a wizard who transformed Cinderella's glass figurines into a golden horse-drawn carriage. Then he transformed Cinderella's grimy clothes into a fancy suit and sent him on his way. When he arrived at the princess's castle, however, he could scarcely believe his eyes. The castle was in fact the very cafe the two of them had managed together. When he walked in, the princess stepped forward as though she had been expecting him. She wore a sparkling gown. Wow. She wore a sparkling gown and a single glass slipper. My eyes were already a glass slipper, and
Well, as Cinderella slid the other glass slipper onto her bare foot, he said to her, "Princess, would you let me have just one dance?" "Why, gladly, Sir Prince." The two of them joined hands and the music began to play. Then they shared a lovely dance. Even as one song ended and another began, the two never pulled their hands away. But as they say, time flies when you're having fun. Before they knew it, the clock had struck 12. Soon the spell would be broken, and the fun would come to an end. Concealing his sadness, Cinderella bid farewell to the princess, but she refused to let him go. As he hesitated, she said to him, "I don't care how ashen your clothes may be. I love you for who you are." She was prepared to sacrifice everything in order to be with him, and so her love brought Cinderella back from the brink, and they lived happily ever after. I'm like wondering if it's that literally is the end. Interesting. Why are we doing this? Okay, once upon a time in the looking glass world, there lived a man named Cinderella with eyes as dull as cinders. Gripped by hopelessness, his heart had faded to an ashen gray. But that's all in the past now. Aw.
Cinderella, take you, Spacey, to be my lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold, for better or for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish from this day forward, until death do us part. Spacey, take you, Cinderella, to be my lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold, for better or for worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish from this day forward, until death do us part. It's funny because they're not in wedding clothes. It's like the after CG, but... Oh, with this ring I thee wed. And not that I have a ring to give you, and the glass slippers are all I've got. And then again, and this is just a trial run for the real wedding, so I don't need a ring to be happy. No one else in the world has glass slippers like these. Well, yeah, true. But rings are supposed to represent eternity. Are you sure you don't want one? It doesn't have to be a ring. If it's just supposed to symbolize our vows, then it can be anything. I love every gift I get from you, no matter what it is. Every one of them is a priceless treasure. He probably makes them all. They're probably all glass baubles, which is so much fun. Well, all right. Besides, I really love these shoes. Without them, I never would have realized that you were still holding out for me. I guess so. And they were made with all of my most desperate yearnings to see you. And then we found each other again. Does that make it destiny? Yep, a destiny.
I can't laugh at him anyway.
Maybe that wagtail was looking out for me.
Huh?
Do you know the story about wagtails? And they're monogamous birds that mate for life, like husband and wife. A long time ago, my dad gave me a pair of glass wagtail figurines, and I loved them to death. But wagtails are also known by a different name, mate birds. A legend has it they taught the two gods of creation what it means to be a married couple. And my dad told me, these birds are bonded for life, and so you must cherish not just one, but both of them. And when you find that special someone, I want you to give them one of these wagtails. And that way the two of you will always be together, he said. At the time I did my best to take care of them, but I ended up breaking one by accident. I remember being completely inconsolable. I must have blamed myself 100 times over. After all, the other wagtail would have to live the rest of his life alone, and it was all my fault. And then, right around the time I started to forget, and that was when you turned up. And suddenly I thought back to those wagtails again. But no matter how badly I wished I could give you one, and they were both long gone. And likewise, I was fated to be alone for the rest of my life. But I wanted so badly to change my fate, to get a second chance. And that's why I made these glass slippers instead. After all, shoes come in pairs just like wagtails. Right. Does this mean we'll always be together? Yep, exactly. In the end, I think the wagtails must have taught me how to make it work. In that case,
maybe you should try to sculpt another pair of wagtails. Yeah, maybe. I doubt I can make anything as beautiful as those, but I'll give it a shot. Just don't push yourself, okay? These days I'm worried you might work yourself sick. You're not alone. I'll always be here for you whenever you need me. I guess that's what it means to be husband and wife, eh? Exactly. And you're the only one who can make all my dreams come true, you hear me? Good point. As long as I have you by my side, I can overcome any obstacle life throws at me. In good times and in bad, our hearts will be as one. Spacey, close your eyes for me, okay? I vow to cherish you and take good care of you, and love you for the rest of my life. And now to kiss my bride. And they lived happily ever after. Look at the little chibis! Oh my god, that's so cute! This is probably going to be... So that was a perfect timing. 5 or 6 hours. Oh! Now we have a new background. Oh, now we can go to our memories. Oh. Wait a minute. 10. Oh, there's only 9? I'm disappointed. Anyway. Well, that's true. Technically, this one doesn't count. Oh, it doesn't... you can't flip through them? Nah, damn it, that sucks. All right. I don't like that you can't, like... There's no other button, like... No, I guess no. That technically doesn't count. Because that's technically Alice, so there's 9 for each one, I guess. Aww. I love this one. The poor precious little baby Cinderella's all dead. See this is I was like, he's sizing up her foot. He's sizing up her foot. He's gonna make glass slippers. Oh, that's cute. He's so precious. Aw, glass blowing together. And I just like the fact, again, I think I said it when we got to one of the CGs in a row, that was like, I'm so glad that her eyes, while being gigantic anime eyes, are like the normal kind of gigantic anime eyes and not like they're this big and they look stupid. Like, she's well drawn. That's so precious. I love his shock face. It's so adorable. Although this does look like he's holding her nose and not covering her eyes. It's kind of awkward. And then her ear's really weird looking. Oh. This one's beautiful. Like, the dress is goddamn gorgeous. With the... Ugh, so pretty. Don't look sad. I do like that there's, like, multiple ones of some of them. Oh. He got him back. So, like, the next part, obviously, and then they're... I love that! It's so cute! It's like, I want to, like, leave it on this one. Like, they lived happily ever after. But, you know we're not going to do that. I'm guessing... Well, we can do that one. This one is my favorite. We can do that one at the end of the... After the bad endings. So we've already gotten one of our bad endings. But we still have... I think 1, 2... 5 other ones. So we'll do that in the next part. We'll do all of our bad endings. I'm guessing they won't be too long, and they might be very similar. I don't know. Actually, I would doubt it. You know what I mean? Like, they're probably I'm assuming they'll be short. You know what I mean? Because it took us like maybe a few minutes to read when we made the wrong choice. So yeah, we'll do that. So that might be a shorter part. Probably maybe be about a half hour. If each bad ending takes about 5 minutes to read, you know what I mean? And then, yeah. And then we're on to Red Riding Hood. And like, oh my god. And then the game is over. Makes me so sad. Like, I've got to say, I've been thinking this and wow. I'm just like, I know, I guess maybe if you were just reading through it really quick and skip, but even then, yeah, I ramble a lot and we have like I have discussions with you. You just have to listen to me have them. But even still, this is what, the 11th part? So the first hour was basically going through like the prologue kind of thing, right? But it's still 10 hours. And even if it's at least 8 hours, because there's no way I rambled for 2 fucking hours throughout this whole thing. Maybe. Actually, I don't know. But like, it's very long. Like, so I'm kind of pleased with that. Like I said, I definitely had sticker shock when it came out and it was $25, but knowing it was at least $30 in the original Japanese release, so it is a little bit cheaper. And for how good the translation is, because since this was translated and it was apparently terrible once before, but how good it is, how good the writing is. I mean, I do not mind that I will probably be paying close to $80 for this game. It's really fucking expensive. Really expensive if you think about it for an Otome game. But if each route is even like 8 to 10 hours, I mean, that, and we've got what, 7 routes? Well, there you go. You're paying $10 a route. I mean, you could be doing worse, because mobile games, if you think about it, you're going to be spending thousands of dollars on, because you're like, I'm buying all this stuff. You can play them for free, but then it's like you have to grind, and that's a pain in the ass. That's why I don't play those, but I wanted to do that with you guys, but we were not allowed to record the game that I got, and good lord, I'm only spending all this money on this. Like, I guess if you paid per route, and it was like $10 for a route, but that's the thing. Then you could pick the route, you know what I mean? Like, oh, there's 10 routes, but I'm only interested in these 3 guys. Okay, I'm going to pay $30 for these 3 guys. You know? But most Otome games, you pay like $35 to $40 for, and you get the whatever routes. I guess technically I paid $80 for Hakuoki, because I paid $40 for 2, but you got 12 guys. And like 7 years worth of content. But this one you get a lot of time. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of possible bad endings. And there's just a lot of sass, and I like the characters. So, you know what? This is worth it. This really was. And I am... I hope they localize more of this developer stuff, because, holy shit. This is what we need. Like, Idea Factory is the one that's really big, that a lot of their stuff comes out. But, like, then you get, like, this. You get, like, London Detective Mysteria, and you're like... Holy shit, though. Like, the really good writing. Like, where are you hiding these games? We need more of these. I mean, maybe in like 10 years can read enough Japanese that we can play all the fun Japanese games. We'll see. Cause like, holy Christ, it's exhausting. It's been like a year, but like, we're nowhere to being able to read, like, oh my god, no. So like, I don't study as much as I should, so. That's why it'll take me 10 years. Most people will be like, I could probably manage it in 5. I'll be like, it'll be like 10 to 15 for me. It's gonna take me like twice as long. Anyway. So we'll do the bad endings next, and yeah. So I will see you guys next time. I hope you've enjoyed this. I really have, oh my god. Anyway. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up, and subscribe to see more.